What is up? What is up?
What is going on, Herbert?
Could you tell something special is going on with
Hey, hey,
everything?
man. Hey, I was gonna call you. I was gonna call you this weekend and say, hey, you want to go fishing for some Yukon Huskies? I got on my fishing net. Sorry, I thought that sounded funny when I. Okay.
In front of your head. Okay. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. They can't all be winners.
Yeah.
Um, Look at Cat. The promotions. Hit the like and the yes. Please do.
Yes.
Please
Thank you, Cat.
subscribe.
We
We
appreciate you.
we finally got past 100. We're on our way
Yes, we're at like
to
on
200.
the road to 200. Yep.
Yes, sir. So we got your roll
And we
tide.
moved
Lady
over.
Alpha giving us a roll tide.
Shout out to Lady Alpha.
Um,
Yes. Appreciate y'all.
Forgot I got to get this streaming thing. So Raj, I mean, where do we even start? I mean, I
Man,
guess since we were
I
last on here, the game against North Carolina was first, which was
yep,
obviously
yep,
the tough
yep.
one. What was your honest level of how did you think that game was going to go? Honestly, against North Carolina.
I thought the North Carolina game was not going to bode well for us because their interior game, especially with Baycott down low was better, and they had good guard play with
When you
RJ
start
and
using words like their interior game,
they got good post game, and it was a little better than us, and we have a habit of getting into foul trouble early, so I thought that's how that game was going to go. Baycott still had a decent game, but hey. Who said? Okay, I'm gonna say who saw coming what Grant Nelson was gonna do, but
I
I will
mean,
say this: I don't know if Gabe's listening, but I did text Gabe before the game, and I said we need Nelson to have a big game because we're gonna be able to do all right on the perimeter, but he's gonna have to do something big. Nelson had a big game, 24 points. I think it was 12 rebounds.
like
Excuse
five
me, I
blocks.
want to say 5 assists, 5 blocks, some assists.
That man blocked the last play of the game, just like missed two free throws just so he could get
Yes,
one more block.
he blocked it, and then he looked at the guys on the table, the storage table. He's like, "Yeah, that counts as a block." It looked like
Yo,
it was a long shot, so it counts as a block. So, hey, man, no, I was
yeah.
excited about that. Happy we won that game. And then, okay, before we move on, how did you feel about the UNC game and obviously the good turnout?
I mean, it's funny. I was trying to look at the whole thing, and I was like, man, we get past UNC, then we still got to play Arizona. It's this tough back to back. Like, I think you get caught up
Right.
sometimes too much in looking ahead too much. But I was like you, I was like, they're gonna. I mean, I felt like they were the better team, and I was like, we gotta,
right.
we gotta hit a lot of shots. We need somebody to step up. That's not, that you're not expecting. And is that when
Right.
did we lose? What's the name in that game or the game before?
But right, so
Yeah,
I think
he
we
got
lost him
hurt.
in the North Carolina. He missed 2 games, right? So I think it must
Right.
have been
Well,
the
he missed
Grand Canyon
the North
game.
Carolina game and the Clemson game.
Yep.
Right. So I was like, this sucks, and you're going into
Yep.
it that and you're just thinking so much has to go right. And then it turned into
Yeah.
a track meet, and then we were behind. And it's just
Yep.
like, I don't know what it is about this team, but that's all we want to do is fall behind. Like we could be playing
Yep.
like
Yep.
a middle school team and we'll still be down like 12-4 early just because, So
Yeah.
I don't understand. So, but they're very resilient. And we missed a couple comments
Yep.
in there. We'll go back, but this one is really timely. So, yeah, I think they're battle tested for sure.
Yeah.
They've played different styles in the tournament
Yep.
and come through different styles, even in the SEC and come through. So North Carolina
Yep.
one was huge. The thing that I hate the most after beating North Carolina is I looked at Clemson and go, well, this one should be easier, right? And that was
Yes, I did the same thing. I did the same thing because I looked at the matchups and I was like, I understand they beat us in Tuscaloosa early in the season by 8, but I looked at the matchups. I'm like, okay, we got the 3-ball game down low. They got PJ Hall, their star player, but I think this should be a game that we should win. But it wasn't an easy game.
no.
PJ Hall was an absolute beast. I didn't
Well,
realize how big
you got to
this
set
guy
this.
was.
You got to set the
Okay,
stage though. We got to step back. We got to
yeah,
step back and set the stage though. Unless we'll get a
okay,
couple of these in real quick so we can set the stage for that. So where we are,
yeah.
like Braybo, our boy, Randy, and I meant to give a couple shout outs to start. So this is a good place to do. So
Shout out to
Mr. U
Randy.
and Football Talk with Bo. We are missing our
Yes,
Wednesday
yes,
show thanks to some really bad internet. But guys, we do shows with on Monday and Wednesday. We always appreciate those. Randy
yes.
show
Shout out to you and
tomorrow
Bo.
night. Let me show you how much I love Randy. I every week for at least 1 hour listen to a broadcast about how good Georgia is going to be next year. because I love Randy and his content, and he always puts on a good show. So that's how much I love Randy. His Thursday show is also this week, first Thursday of the month.
Hold on. Before we go on from Randy, let's let everybody know what Randy messaged us Saturday night. All right, Randy, I could not let you go. Randy messaged us Saturday night about 9:00 during the Clemson game, just to inform us, I guess, that Georgia had their first spring scrimmage, and their offense looks much better. Their offense is a step ahead than their defense. I politely responded to Randy and said, "Hey, yeah, we're going to the Final Four." So I wasn't trying to be rude. It was just funny. The timing and everything was just funny. But
yeah, the information was good. The timing was we weren't prepared. Yep. So
yes.
Before we get into that, yes. Unfortunately, it is April. I don't know where this year has gone. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how we got there. So
it's one of my favorite months. I love April.
Yeah. I don't know why. Nothing good happens in April.
Yeah, right. 18 days.
Treated from Canada. Yep. Which I will actually be there. So we're gonna do some kind of content live that weekend. When I'm up there. So it'll be right the week after the A-Day game, and we'll get to see the last portal stuff too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think this is about the North Carolina game. Yep.
Yeah.
The Nelson that we were all. Yes. I mean.
Yes.
It's like he waited all year to have that one game and then never again. So I don't know about Nelson, but yep.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate Trina.
Yes, appreciate it. Thank you, Trina, for tuning in.
Oh,
yeah. Speaking,
Carrie.
Shout out to Carrie.
He was rated the #1 user on Twitter like 3 years in a row, Raj. This is one of the great right there. So yes, promise.
Appreciate you, Carrie. Going back to Kat's comment about the vision of Nate Oates, I think that's something that a lot of us had trouble accepting at first because it was 3-ball oriented. Well, it still is 3-ball oriented, and we saw us win a lot of games, but we also saw us lose some games due to that same style of play. So I guess now we're accepting it, and we're seeing that Bama has made it as farther than any other Bama hoops team in history. It's something that, I'm cool with. It's just at times you watch it and you're just kind of like, okay, are there any other methods of us scoring? And then you saw what Estrada's been doing in the tournament.
Are there any other methods? Like, do you guys have any other plan?
Yeah. Listen, if the 3-ball's hitting, that's fine. But if it's not hitting, I like what Estrada's doing because Estrada is not afraid to drive to the hoop. He'll pull up for the.
If he would hit some, that would be nice, though. If he would hit some,
yeah. So I'm okay with it. It's cool. It's just like, can we pull this off for 2 more games? Because we're definitely going to need it Saturday night. We're definitely going to need that 3-ball Saturday night.
Yeah. We're not ready to get into that though, so we will continue to talk about. So,
I heard one.
Trying to be, play. Yep. Nope. All right, like you said earlier, it was very timely your comment about the preseason schedule, and this was Randy. It was just funny to us because of the timing we were riding that high. So, I never thought you are the person. Like, if I want to ask anything about Georgia, I'm going to you. So we've seen other Georgia content out there for sure, but no, I always knew that you were right on. When you said it, I was like, can make for an interesting beginning of the year. But Georgia's still going to be ranked #1. I personally think they're going to be up. So,
hey, the way I look at us paying attention to Georgia is keep your friends close and your enemies closer. We got to know what those guys in Athens are doing. I'm interested to see how they play, how their team is going to be carried this season. So it's going to be a fun season. And of course, we'll get into that a little later on. But sorry, we're still riding kind of high on the basketball stuff right now.
Yeah. And thank you. Please like and subscribe. We're on our way to 200. So
write us letters or whatever.
Do you even check your mail anymore?
I check my email.
Okay. Write us letters, type it out, I guess. All right. So, and as far as our shout outs, we got to do this too. JB and JT did a live stream.
Yes.
What is it? The PSP app. So, PSF app. What is it? PSP? Yeah. PSF app. Sorry. That we both like. Let me tell you how much we like these guys. Their JB stream is feels like 5 minutes ahead of everyone.
Yes,
we're still watching his stream. So some of it's getting spoiled for us, but because it was so interesting,
I had
Kat.
for that same reason I I had to stay tuned in, but I was like, it was weird because their TVs were ahead, so I was like, emotionally, I was like sitting there next to Dad, and I was like, yeah, Dad, we just scored. Oh, we won the game. Yeah, he's Mark Steele's getting ready to hit a 3, and Dad was looking at me like, huh? I was like,
Dad's probably so confused. Yeah.
But I had to tell him, I was like, no, I'm watching a live stream and they're ahead. So
yeah. So that was interesting. We learned about people's draws and what they wear during the games, their superstitions. Somebody jumped into the tub and didn't get out till the end of the game. If that person wants to say who they are, they can. Otherwise, we'll keep you anonymous. So it was an interesting stream. So, but back to the game itself, it's you're coming off the North Carolina game, and I start to wonder sometimes with the players. Alabama is approaching every game like it is the first game of the tournament. The first game jitters are always there. They start off slow every game. I'm just like, so we're just not going to come out and punch anybody in the mouth. We're just going to let everybody get their best shot at it. And that's how it started until a little after the 10-minute mark or something. We took control of the first half. But otherwise, like early on, I was like, please, no, don't have our best chance at the Final Four. And lose to Clemson of all people. And it's not Clemson because of basketball. It's Clemson because of football.
The football stuff. Yeah. And then I was just watching the game and we were down by 8. And I'm like, how are we losing by 8 points to this team who's barely hitting any threes? They're just killing us down low. Like we should not be doing that. But we shot the ball so poorly to start off that we just got behind. But luckily, like you said, closer to the end of the first half, we just started hitting some shots, and obviously we came out here swinging in the second half. So luckily we prevailed that game.
Yeah, my favorite sequence was like we hit a 3, then Clemson hit a 3, then we hit a 3, and Clemson hit a 3, and they couldn't keep up with it. But I was like, you don't want to play our game.
Exactly. When Bama's on fire, no team in the country is going to outshoot us like that.
Right. Yep. Kat said she almost died in the middle of this one. Yeah, it was, and the stream was super fun. Yeah, but it was Sears came alive in the second half. I mean, that was that was huge. It was like 6 or 7, just some threes. Stevenson had a big game.
Stevenson had like 5 threes. Yep.
And Kat, I posted that when they bid. I was like, that's not how you want to play this game. There's not many teams that can keep up with us. So. What do you think about Pringle, though, man, and kind of putting everything behind him and playing hurt and just kind of playing really tough out there?
I love what Pringle's been doing the past few games, and I think
you love Pringles, or you love what Pringle's been doing?
I love Pringles, and I love what Pringle's been doing. Do you think he has an? I'm sure he has an NIL.
Right, you have to, right? Especially, the problem was they gave him an NIL, then he got suspended in the middle of the year, and they're like, and now he's back. So
when he got suspended, they said, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to take your chips away." I like what Pringle's been doing the past few games. Because I think when people look at Pringle, he's not a high-scoring guy. He's not going to give you 10 to 15 a game, but defensively and his just presence down low is what I like. His interior play, his style of play, his grit. Playing through that injury, I really, really admire that. He stepped up huge for us. The one thing I will say is that I don't like about Pringle could have more points if he would just give me some more dunks. He has a lot of missed tips and a lot of just basic layups that for some odd reason he misses those. And I'm thinking, dude, if you're that big, just dunk it right quick. But I don't know. He stepped up huge, and we've had a lot of our role players just stepping up huge the past few games. Like you mentioned, Stevenson with the 5 threes in the Clemson game. Obviously, Grant Nelson is one of our starters, but he finally came out of shell this tournament, 24-12 against North Carolina. I hope he has nothing again, though.
Like that was just weird.
Then he only had the Clemson game. He only had 8 points, 8 points and 7 rebounds in the Clemson game. So
now I know his second foul was pretty weak. Which by the way, I always hate to mention the officiating. I just think the officiating has been bad in several games. And it's not like I don't feel like to either team's advantage. It just seems like I remember saying against Grand Canyon, nobody knows what a foul is because the officials don't. That was bad.
Yeah.
This last game, it just seemed on one end you'd see, okay, this little bump. Because I know Nelson and what was a big guy for Clemson both. I want to say their 4th or 5th fouls was just really come on, man. That must
PJ Hall, yeah.
Yeah. It was just times where I was just like, if you're gonna let them play, let them play. And if you're gonna call ticky tack, that's fine. But don't mix it up. And that's what I felt like was kind of happening at both ends. So yeah. So Stevenson's a guy they've had good promise for and just hasn't really delivered as of yet, which is not. I think the problem with basketball sometimes is because those guys can be one and done. We expect, their freshman year should be great. And they're still just like, man, what happened to the guys that are just developing? You know what I mean? And maybe it's taking 2 or 3 years to get there. So I was really happy to see him. So yeah, there was just definitely questionable calls. I mean, the refs, and like I said, I don't even think like in the Grand Canyon game, I thought it was a wrestling match at times. So I do, and that's funny because that was the least physical game because that was like a more wide open game, and they were just kind of getting out and running. So,
but I feel like from a referee standpoint, you have to call the game one way, like from the jump. Like if you're gonna let him bang, then let him go ahead and go down low and bang, and let it be. But don't start doing the ticky tack fouls somewhere mid game, and then things just get like really, really crazy after that. So if you're gonna let him play, let him play. I mean, it's the Final Four, March Madness. Just let him play.
Yep, I agree. What's up, Brian? Good evening to you, Brian. Sir. Yeah, we've actually had more talented teams than this, or arguably more talented teams that just get to the Sweet 16. Now, I know it's a football school, but you're going to get enough talent to get past at least the Sweet 16. But I guess we've only even done that like the one time or the one major time when you and I were watching. So yeah, having never been to a Final Four is crazy. And then Nate Oates comes in, and there were people who were trying to call for Nate Oates' job at the end of the SEC season. I was like, you guys are crazy. So
last year's team was more talented than this year's team.
Yep. And I think that's probably more because of Brandon Miller than anything else. This team is probably a little more spread out. Like we have Sears, but he's not a superstar. You know, he's kind of a star.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's wild. Why do you think we're so excited? Why do you think we've already got a Final Four shirt on and stuff? So, yep. And thank you. You probably missed Rod's fishing joke, though. Maybe for better or for worse. So,
last year just missed it. Hey, Brian, I said, I guess we're going fishing for UConn Huskies this weekend. Get it? Fishing for UConn Huskies? Yeah, that's a nice desk. All right, good.
I think because of Brunson, the New York Knicks guy, that's a good comp for him. That's the challenge. I only think the thing that would keep him back from being a superstar is size. Yeah, and I think that's really it. But man, he's leading this team when his shot is on. He's even he's been a good passer too. So that's it.
Yeah.
So immediately right after the game, good.
The thing is Mark Sears going to be able to get these same shots in the NBA? Like the long threes, I guess they'll give you a few of those every now and then. But as far as getting to the hoop, I don't think it's going to be as smooth as it is right now. As far as going into the league, so that's going to be a difficult transition for him. But shooting wise, I mean, he's got that. He can shoot the 3-ball.
Yep. So right after the game, people started mentioning UConn and stuff, and I said, let us enjoy this for a minute. Let's enjoy this. Yeah, because UConn is the number 1 overall seed, rightfully so. They've had a 30-point lead in every game they've played this year. And I know this team is a little different, but you have to go back to last year in the tournament games only. Their closest game they played was win by 13 last year. Yeah. And this year they've just been obliterating everyone in their path. If we decide to do this game and come back and go down 10-15 to UConn, we're not coming back. You've got to stay within striking distance. You've got to hit a lot of threes. I mean, just look at this last game. Illinois has a high-flying offense. They have a high-scoring offense, okay? Yeah. And I know everybody wants to talk about the 30-0 run, but I'm going to say where I came in, and I was actually watching LSU women's basketball, against UCLA on Saturday. So I joined this game halftime. It's 28-23, and that's when I start watching. And we get 5 minutes in, no Illinois points. 6 minutes in, no Illinois points. 7. And I'm just like, it was a 28-2 start in the second half. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And it didn't even look like they were doing anything crazy. It just looked like we're just playing basketball out here.
Yeah.
At beating the crap out of one of the best teams in the country.
That's what I'm saying. And I didn't see any of that. I just heard about it. And when I saw it on social media, I thought it was like maybe a glitch or something or a blip or something. But I was like, how you go on a 30-0 run? Like how does that happen? I don't understand that. I don't understand what type of basketball UConn was playing, but they've been on fire the entire tournament. So, and I guess this whole discussion kind of leads up to Brian's question, and is, can we beat the Huskies?
Let me say this about a 30-0 run and the 28-2 run. I remember playing one time in just a pickup ball, and we're only going to like 12. And when we got to 6, so we're about to skunk one team, right? Once we got to 6-0 and 7-0, one of the guy I was guarding said, "Man, if they pass me the ball, I'm just throwing it up." Like, if I'm in a 28-2 run or whatever this, a 30-0 run, at some point I'm just leaving 3 guys back on offense. And like, as soon as the team scores, I'm throwing it down just so we can get a point on the board. Like,
if I'm on the other team, I'm going to start fouling the UConn guys really, really hard. I'm really going to take my anger out on these guys. I'm like, okay, it was like a real respectable game. Now you're trying to embarrass us. I can't stand for that. So I'm going to get a tech and probably get thrown out. If I'm a senior, that might be my last game or whatever. Maybe I have another year. I'm not going to stand for a 30-0 run. No.
What is
I'm
this
breaking somebody's
strategy
elbow or
you
something.
speak of? Wow.
I'm going back to 88 Bad Boys Pistons, straight Lambeer on them. So.
Yeah. Hey, remind me never to be playing against you like that. So,
hey, man. I wouldn't do you like that.
The spread, you would. The spread already opened up with like 11.5 UConn.
Yep.
It seems 1,000% justified. I can't even argue the line. I can't argue the Rosh Tracy, you want to play pickup ball with you. Get Rosh to tell you his Dana story one day. So
we'll have time. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
The line is justified. I get it.
What Shorty say? If you can't win, don't play. That's us. We're poor losers. Take our ball and go home.
Oh yeah.
It's tough. Like, the path to it, there you can't make many mistakes, right? You've got to play tough defense. You can't have mental lapses. You can't give up the big runs. You have to hit threes because that's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So you have to. You got to be. I mean, the communication's got to be there. UConn's not even shooting particularly well at times and still smoking people. They are the best team. So the path to it is almost like you need more than your A game. We really kind of need our A+ game and maybe their like C game and kind of that's the realm I'm looking at. I know it makes it sound dire. We made it to the final chance, but they are the better team. So let's not get it twisted.
I think they're the better overall team. But to your point, and I've discussed this off the air, it's like Sears is just coming off a game where he hit 7 threes. Stevenson had 5 threes. It's like we're going to need them to duplicate their effort against Clemson in the UConn game. They got the big guy, what's his name? Klingon down. I was going to say Klingon from Star Trek, but Klingon down low. Donovan Klingon.
When you were about to say Klingon, I was shaking my head. Yep. Klingon.
They've got the big guy down low. They've got some good perimeter players. They're one of the best defensive ranked teams in the nation. It'll be interesting to see how much room they give us on the 3-point line because Sears is like, once I step over half court, I'm going to launch it. Same with Rylan Griffin. But to your point, we're going to.
Forgot about Griffin. He's had some good games.
Griffin's had some really, really good games, offensively and defensively. But to your point, we're going to have to win at the 3-point line, at the perimeter, and I hate to say that's the only way we're going to win, but that's going to be our key to victories, to play the NATO style of basketball and somehow kind of slow them down defensively if we can. But can we beat? Yeah, we can beat them. They can be beat. But it's just going to be a heck of a game, and we're up for the challenge.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting. I'd love to see Estrada. Yeah. He's been getting to the basket a lot, at least especially in the last 2 games, and just not converting. I would love to see him have a big game. Yep. And Reitzel hopefully back.
Hopefully back.
Somebody mentioned maybe bringing Brandon Miller back for a game. So
I mentioned that. Well, I mean, with the way the transfer portal's been, and then the Hornets are not in playoff contention, so I'm thinking, hey man, just miss the last 2 games and come back for the game. Nobody's gonna care.
Yeah,
But
put a mustache on him.
shout out to Brandon Miller. He's having a really good rookie season though. He should be like all rookie first team and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
um,
Basically, people are putting him at third in the race right now. I mean,
for what
being behind
rookie of the year?
Wimbiana is I mean,
Yeah.
Wimbiana,
come
that's fine. And then what's his name from OKC, who's really in his second year, but his first year really playing.
Yeah.
So here's our combination: Spicy Pringle.
Holmgren.
Yeah, Holmgren. Yep.
Yeah.
Spicy Pringle and Mustard Reitzel on Sears on their best game. Yep.
Speaking of I just had an idea with all these nicknames.
I'm gonna have to look up this Canadian show they're talking about. By the way, go ahead.
Yeah, I have no idea what Shorzy is, but we'll research that. I have an idea, Herb. For the game Saturday.
Hold on. Whenever you say you have an idea, this is the look I give you.
All of my ideas aren't bad.
Uh-huh.
I have some terrible ones. This is actually a good one. To help out Grant Nelson, to show some support for Grant Nelson, why don't we just shave the goatee and just leave the stash?
I'm already not that great looking. I don't know if I can lose it.
You can. It'll grow back.
All right, I'm going to try. I'm going to ask.
Just shave all this and just leave the stash.
So they're quoting the show over here. I've already got it called up over here, so I will be checking this out.
Shorzy?
Shorzy.
I've never even heard of that.
I've already got. What's a Canadian show? You're not Canadian.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't mean I haven't heard of anything. Oh my gosh.
All right. So on the other side, were you sad that your Duke Blue Devils lost?
Not really. I mean, we won, so that kind of helped out. I think I picked Duke to win that region, though, so that hurt my bracket. Even let's be honest, my bracket was already destroyed anyway, so that didn't really mess up anything.
Which, by the way,
Duke
that's
had a good showing.
Real quick, so no, you're great. Go ahead. I do have the bracket challenge up there, so we'll talk about it.
Duke had a good showing. They lost to a really good underrated North Carolina State team. But I mean, listen, this Duke, they'll be back. They've got like the number one and either the number 1 or number 3 and number 4 recruit coming in, both McDonald's All-American. I think, speaking of McDonald's All-American, I think the game is on right now.
It is.
So they're having a good recruiting class.
I was about to tune into the NIT game, though.
Yeah. Well, Alabama's got 2 McDonald's All-Americans, too. So they should be out there as well.
Sorry, I will be watching Georgia and Seton Hall in NIT semifinals.
I want to watch the McDonald's game.
No, you're not.
Sorry.
All right.
I almost watch it every year, to be honest with you.
What, the McDonald's All-American game?
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched the McDonald's All-American game. I watched that. I watched the slam dunk contest. And those two pretty much. I don't really pay attention to the 3-point contest. I can care less about that.
Yeah. All right. So NC State, that's a huge. So I was actually watching the night NC State beat Virginia in overtime to really keep this run going, because I think it was one of the earlier runs. They had to hit a 3. Virginia missed like every other free throw down the stretch, and NC State hits a 3 and sends it to overtime. And so without that, and without them like winning the tournament, they don't make the NCAA tournament. So that was why it was a huge thing even to get started. And then this run that they've been on, and Burns making it, he's basically become a star in this. Edey versus a really big dude.
I didn't realize how big he was. He is 6'9", 275.
See, I thought he was shorter. So yeah, he is. They said he's like Zach Randolph with Shaq's personality, but he is.
Oh wow.
He's a smart player. He's very patient. Duke didn't want to double team him. He made them. He's got such a soft touch around the basket. Those little floaters and stuff, because he got like a 2-inch vertical. But he knows how to play the angles and get his shot.
He ain't gonna be dunking all over everybody, but he knows how to use his size.
Yep. On offense, he's just it's interesting because he's not the athlete. He is definitely a ground bound kind of guy, but he is definitely a force.
Zion could kind of jump out of the zim.
Yeah. So this versus Edey is going to be very interesting. Too bad to Tennessee. I didn't know if I was rooting for or against Tennessee.
I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting against Tennessee because I wanted to be the only SEC team in the Final Four.
See, so when I was like, well, if Tennessee wins, the SEC gets half the Final Four. After like we were much maligned at the beginning of this tournament, the SEC was terrible. So for us to get this far, like certain other teams, like in the state, bowed out in the first round to teams from Ivy League, which you probably wouldn't expect. So
I did not expect that.
Yeah. So I had mixed feelings, so I wasn't really upset. So how about this, Raj? What's the better story? Purdue's trying to get back with last year, or UConn's dominance?
Purdue trying to get back. I think UConn's dominance was something that's kind of.
Wait.
Well, they're winning.
Wait. So you're picking Purdue?
Gosh, here we go. Oh my gosh.
What?
Why do you do this to me? I don't even want to look.
Go ahead, Raj.
Yes,
so
Raj
is picking the best story is Purdue, and I'm picking UConn. So Raj, time for our debate series. Why don't you get us started with the Purdue side?
I just realized it's like 8:30. I gotta go. All right. I was caught off guard with this debate, but hey, let's give it a go. Obviously, Purdue last year, 2023 in March Madness, Purdue was the number 1 ranked seed. They lost in the first round to Fairleigh Dickinson, I believe. They had Zach Edey, who was, I think, Naismith Player of the Year last year. Them losing was just caught everybody off guard, broke a lot of brackets, etc. So this year was the redemption story. Even with that being said,
redemption. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, okay, redemption story. So this year, I think a lot of people bracket-wise said, okay, they're not going to make the same mistakes that they made last year. Maybe they make it to second, third round, etc. They've been having a really, really dominant run. They've been getting, obviously, Zach Edey, he's been doing his thing down low, probably averaging a double-double, even without me looking at the numbers. Good perimeter play, shooting the ball well, playing good defense. They made it to the Final Four where they had to play North Carolina State, and I think they're favored. They are favored in that game. Right. I'm not looking at the point spread, but Purdue is favored in that game to beat North Carolina State. So for them to kind of
better story than UConn. What makes it the better story?
Because of what happened last year. To see how they bounced out of the first round last year, to see how far they've made it and trying to redeem themselves makes it a better story than UConn. UConn was already the number 1 seed. They were already predicted to win all their games anyway. The only thing that UConn's doing is something that I'll let you get into.
Yes.
I don't want to say it, I already know how this
the reason why UConn is the better story is because, especially in this era of the transfer portal and graduates and the one and done, it's hard to maintain dominance from 1 year to the other, especially basketball, because guys can leave a lot earlier than they can in football.
Right.
So to see what they've been doing with a whole new team this year and still have a 30-point lead in every game, like, this is amazing. You're seeing a run like you might not ever see again. Everyone is expecting them to cruise to the title. That is, I mean, everyone always hates.
Okay, but if everybody's expecting them to cruise to the title and they're doing it, then how is that a surprise?
Because we've seen it to this point. We might not have expected when the season started, but now that they get there, we're like, these guys are really freaking good. And yeah, people like to see winners, Raj. I mean, that's why, like, the Yankees will be good all the time or be rooted for, and the not Dallas Cowboys will not get rooted for. But these are the New England Patriots when Tom Brady was there. Like, these people flock to champions. The Kansas City Chiefs, like, when you see something like this, and you're never going to get to see it again, UConn is dominant. It's a much better story than some team that's got some big guy and happen to get,
they've got some big guy. They've got Klingon.
The Klingon, yes, but Raj, a team with a Klingon on it, that's amazing. They are all inclusive.
Hypothetically
UConn's
speaking,
a better story.
Who wins? UConn versus Purdue. Who wins?
UConn.
By
more weapons and a big guy to neutralize Edey.
By what do they win by?
14.
No, you're crazy.
Okay,
go ahead. Who's going to end the debate? Go ahead. I don't even want a debate. I don't even know why we're talking about this. Let's just get to the entertainment part.
All right, let's go to the judges.
What's up, brothers?
Judge.
It's your boy Bulk here, and it's just an honor of mine to be picked as the guest judge for the Herb and Raj podcast debate. Man, another great debate, guys. Reminds me of my NWO days, baby. You guys could bring it, boy. Raj, another great job as usual, but I can tell you ain't been lifting no weights lately. Herb, man, you bring it, brother. I love the way you work, brother. I've got to give this victory to Herb. Herb, great job, brother. Now, for everybody out there, continue to eat your vitamins, drink your milk, and watch the Herb and Rod podcast. Like and subscribe, brother. It's another great debate. Bulk out.
Well, independent judge. I mean,
you are the only person I know that has a daily job that has time to be this idiotic. I cannot figure you out.
Let's check the score. Well, debate
How
series.
were we raised by the same people? How did this happen? This is not. At 9 o'clock, once it's over, I'm calling Mom ASAP. I don't care if she's sleeping. I'm calling Mom ASAP. There must have been a mix-up somewhere. Something down the line. Somebody did not tell me something. What made you think you're gonna go to Party City and buy the wig, order this stuff online, and you're married? Your wife approves of this? Oh my gosh!
Rod, don't hate.
And then you wore that little itty bitty tank top. That was an extra medium tank top you wore.
Oh, Rod, you just seem so bitter in these debates.
I will give it to you. That was funny. I won the debate, but that was funny.
We'll get caught up real quick. So debate time. See, somebody's excited about debate time. So she's actually tired of the coverage up here on Zach Edey. I think it's because with Purdue, you don't, and men's game in general. So I was talking to a friend about this, and we'll talk actually a little women's. The women's markets their stars more, but the men, kind of market their team. So you just don't hear about individual guys. But once they get on one, they will latch onto that person forever. So Cat said he's got to go. Can NC State do it? I don't know. An underdog championship, I would love it. Bama versus NC State, I would love that game. That would be a lot of fun. So
that would be an interesting game.
So here's the comments on the Raj. Poor Raj. He agreed to the debate, though.
Yeah, but I got to start going back to the production meetings.
Oh, yep. A lot of people seem to like the debate. Can't see the time. So, yes, brother. So
do it again. Say brother again.
I can't say it like that guy in the video. So
yeah,
I just
exactly.
Say like brother.
Like, go. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, Randy knows. Randy, one of the hardest working men in the business, so he knows there's no days off. So now that's a loss on my. Well, the person in the video, that was a loss on their part. They definitely should have torn the shirt off. But I imagine they got a dad bod under the tank top and no kids, so it's probably not. It's probably for the best of the video they left that one on. So, yep. So points off for that. Yeah, I agree. With that one. Points off for whoever was in the video, but still a victory for her. So
shout out to Bulk for making his appearance on the show. Oh my god! What are we talking about next?
So,
oh gosh.
So we've already seen. We'll just end on that, I guess. With obviously Purdue and UConn the favorites. They should be the favorites. I'd love at least one of the underdogs to win. If that underdog wins, I'd like to guess. So, real briefly, did you watch the women's game on Monday night?
I watched all of the LSU. Well, I'd say about 80% of the LSU Iowa. Of course, with everything going on here, I had some other things going on, and then I watched some of the UConn USC game. I really wanted to see the Beckers Juju Watkins matchup, so that was pretty good. So, the LSU Iowa game,
I can handle that. What was it? 12.3 million viewers
for the LSU
watched game. Women's game, and apparently the most bet women's game ever.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I think it's excellent for women's college basketball. Great storyline, rematch from last year. I like the trash talking. I'm okay with that. One thing I don't like when I go on social media is like, oh well, Angel Reese did that, and then Caitlin Clark does it, and they treat her differently. All that other stuff. I don't want to hear all that. It's trash talking during the game. Let them go. Just let them play. It is what it is.
And neither the players take it. And I think that's the biggest problem. A lot of people just take it way outside the game. Neither of those two took it outside the game. They haven't talked bad about each other off the court. They've actually supported each other. And it's like, to my earlier point, man, the women's game, you market your stars more. So they need, what I think one of the failings was they didn't market Reese versus Clark more leading up to this. They had I think that was an opportunity missed. But man, it was great for the game. They had 4 of their biggest stars playing on one night. Somebody even mentioned it was like, as people are just all of a sudden forgetting that South Carolina and NC State are actually on the other side of the bracket. And shout out to NC State. For getting in the Final Four,
men's and women's team to the Final Four. So. Awesome. But I mean, I
don't get it. It's like, we'll celebrate the way Steph Curry does it.
Yeah.
But Caitlin Clark yells at somebody, and we're like, "What's going on?" So I
love it. I love seeing the trash talk. Yeah.
I will say this though: the fact that they're even talking about it for the women's game, I think even bad publicity is good publicity at this point. So as much as we're talking about the game, I think it's good that it's still on people's minds. And Monday night was just a great night for the sport.
It was.
So I don't know how they're going to top it going forward.
I felt so bad for Haley Van Lith because she was trying as hard as she possibly could to guard Caitlin Clark. But let's just be honest, when you have a shooter that shoots like that, she has the green light right when she steps over half court. You can't really guard that. And once she gets a pick or once she gets like 2 feet away from you, she's just going to throw it up and you just have to suffer. There was even one clip where she made a 3 and then Haley Van Lith did like this when she walked away, really briefly. But she was like, I'm doing everything I can to guard this girl, but she's just throwing the ball up. So nothing you can do about that. Not hit 9 threes, ended up with 40 points? 41 points?
41 was it? 41 points, 12 assists, 7. I was hoping she would get 3 more rebounds just to get the triple double. Yeah, I mean, she was, and it's like you said, how you gonna blame Haley Van Lith like that? She was just on fire, man.
Yeah.
So there was no. I think they felt like last year, whatever they did last year, would working in, and it wasn't. It was. Caitlin Clark was just not losing again, and that was it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Just a great game by her, and then like the last game, Juju versus Bukers, that was a good game too as well. So looking forward to the women's Final Four as well. So
I am too. I think that UConn Iowa game is going to be pretty good. The thing about that is, again, I don't think UConn has anybody to stop Caitlin Clark, but then Paige Beckers is a really, really good all-around basketball player too. But if Caitlin Clark gets hot, which I'm assuming she will, then I can see Iowa taking that game.
Yeah, her passing is also very underrated too as well.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark. I think she's led like the nation in passing like 2 years in a row. So I think people need to give respect on that. She's the best player in the game right now. So be interested to see if she matches up with South Carolina again, since they knocked out South Carolina last year. So that's looking ahead. Where you want to head from here, Raj? Oh, might as well, because we're about to cap off basketball. Let's throw out
E. Shout out to E.
So you got your Celtics, but Bucks just lost the Washington used to be Wizards tonight.
I can't figure out the Bucks. I can't figure out the Bucks. I mean, when they got Dame at the beginning of the season, everybody was like jumping on that train and, oh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the Bucks year. But then I know
stop this train. I wanna get off. Okay.
Who sings that, Herb?
I don't know. Somebody last year. The year before.
Anyway, everybody was jumping on the Milwaukee Bucks train, and it hasn't quite worked out as effectively. Obviously, they got a coach fired. I mean, they're going to make it to the playoffs. How far do you see Milwaukee making? Is it Eastern Conference Finals?
I say Eastern Conference Finals, but if they lose in the first round, like let's say they're in the 2 seed, right? And I think the plan is like the Heat might be, or the Hawks. Anyway, if the Heat get into the 7th seed and they knock them out in the first, like nothing will surprise me. I feel like they're either going to make the Eastern Conference Finals or get knocked out in the first round. So nothing.
So right now, Miami's in the 7th spot and Philly's in the 8th spot.
Right, and Philly just got back Embiid tonight.
Embiid, yep.
So, but will any of us surprising Raj now? And even if they're 7-8, they'll still have to play each other to see who's actually the 7th spot. So we'll see. Magic, Knicks, like those. If the Knicks get healthy, they'll be a dangerous team in the playoffs. So Western Conference is where it's at though. Thunder, Nuggets, Cat out, Minnesota still holding tough, and the Mavericks sliding into 4. That could be interesting. So.
Oh yeah.
But the Clippers still hanging out there, the Suns. So the Western Conference is still be the much more fun playoffs. So
speaking of the Western Conference, before we slide,
called CC the greatest ever. So go ahead, Raj. I do have a comment on that. What?
So the other night was a Saturday night. Lakers were playing Brooklyn Nets, and Sunday I sent a little text. Sunday I sent a little text to Herb, me being the LeBron fan, and I showed him the stat line. LeBron James at 39 years old put up 40 points, 13 for 17 from the field goal range, with 9 from 10 from the threes. 39 years old.
I didn't realize it. I knew they were doing well. I didn't realize 9-1.
Don't interrupt me. Just wanted to throw that out there. LeBron had another phenomenal night. So proud of him. The Lakers won again tonight. Unfortunately, we're still in the 9th spot. We'll probably play Golden State in the play-in.
Thank you, Randy. That's how I'm feeling.
Oh, Randy! Oh, come on, Randy.
It would be
Randy
hard
is
to
stuck in
remember
the 90s too, huh?
Randy picked Raj 2-0 on the show, but that's the last time he supported you, Raj. He's got my back now. So
that's fine. That's fine.
I would think so. First off, I always say this: Breanna Stewart won 4 national championships in 4 years at UConn and was named the most valuable player in each, or whatever they call most outstanding player each time. So Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal, and if they win a title, that will cap off a great year. But like calling somebody the greatest ever, like I feel like we always jump to that so soon, I hesitate to argue. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I always hate saying that because I don't want to argue against anything she's done. She's an amazing player. Right. She's been great for the sport of women. You have people watching who were never going to watch before. She has done that. And I don't like saying, oh, no, she's not, because people take it as an insult. She's a phenomenal player. And if you want to argue that, that's great. But I just feel like there's others that have had different impacts over the year. But, I mean, she's great. So.
I feel like when he says greatest ever, there has to be a term there in front of ever, and that's a shooter. And I put it in the same category as Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Is he the greatest NBA player of all time? I would say no, just as far as two-way players, there's a number of people I can name. Caitlin Clark, she's a pretty good defender, but she is the best shooter of all time. Now, to your point, I mean, you have Breanna Stewart, Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi was out there. Rebecca Lobo had a great career. And then we go way back in the 80s. I mean, Cheryl Miller, they talk about Cheryl Miller all the time. Lisa Leslie, all of them. Candace Parker was pretty dominant as far as player-wise. But, best shooter of all time is Caitlin Clark. I've never seen anything like that in women's basketball. Again, if I'm her coach, I'm like, listen, just give Caitlin the ball, let her do whatever she wants to do, and y'all just follow along. That's pretty much it.
Yep, I agree. He's got your back. 9 of 10 from 3, Rod. So there you did.
He was 9 of 10 from 3. So
I accidentally clicked on that one again. Sorry.
No, I mean it is, and to y'all's point, I guess Herb and I will try to conduct a spaces regarding the whole GOAT debate situation somewhere in the near future, and we'll keep everybody updated with that once that transpires. So
interesting question here. I don't think so on either one, but I feel like that's a WNBA problem, not Breanna Stewart or Caitlin Clark. First off, a lot of them still make more money going overseas to play. Second, the league does a horrible. The season is so short; it's fitting in the middle of summer in most cases, right? So we do not hear about any of their stars outside, like at the very least tie it to the NBA and have be shoving them down our throats at the beginning of the NBA season, but you don't see anything about them until they're almost about to play, and so it's not on the forefront of people's mind. I don't know what Caitlin Clark's going to do. I wonder if it's just she'll go to the WNBA, but I feel like the $5 million offer, she'll make more money there. I'm pretty sure that's like 5 years of WNBA.
Yeah, but the thing about that whole $5 million offer to go to the Big Three is like they're not going to treat her the same in Big Three. They're going to
No.
push her around. They're not going because none of those guys would want to get embarrassed by her. So they're not going to let her shoot the ball. They're going to push her around. They're going to be all up in her face, and it's not going to be pretty for her.
Yeah.
Now, as far as her taking the offer, yeah, take the money and go. But one question I wanted to have for you is, do you see a possibility where sometimes in the future where stars from college just forego the WNBA? Say, look, I mean,
you're
why go
already
do that?
seeing it where they're staying longer in college.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think once there's a more viable option, yeah. But the WNBA is just not doing. I think they're doing them a disservice, to be honest.
Yep.
And
I mean, they're making more money in college. Angel Reese is already Caitlin Clark. They're in commercials right now. Haley Van Lith, NIL money. I mean, what's going to the WNBA? It's like, okay, I'll do it because that's the next step. But financially, it's like it's not going to put too much more money in their pockets. They're good there.
Yeah. And see, Kat, this is a major problem. I know it. I usually know when to start because they start commercials about a month before it. Other than that, it's not so. And yeah, back to this point, I like this comment too because of Magic Bird, because they tried to compare Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark to Magic and Bird and what they brought to the sport. And Angel Reese said, "Well, I've never watched any of that, so I don't know, but I do like the competition." I was like, "Ouch, thanks."
Yeah.
So. We're coming down towards the end. Do have to mention this, and I'm going to mess up his last name, Parker Brailsford. A lot of people think he just got here. The center. He just got here and will be leaving. What were your initial thoughts on hearing that story?
Wait, I missed the story.
Yeah, he hasn't been practicing even though he's healthy, and a lot of people think he's about to transfer out.
Oh, I honestly, and this is actually news to me. The only thing I saw earlier was the fact that James Brockermeyer has been getting most of the first team reps, and he's been pretty much the starting center right now. So if this is the case and this is true, I mean, this is another issue with college football that we have as far as the transfer portal is concerned and everything like that. We heard good things about him as far as him coming over and he's going to take Seth's place. But I mean, if he's getting beat in competition, then you're not number one, so to speak. But again, I'm going to have to look at this myself. The first thing I heard about it, this is my first time hearing about it. I'm sorry. So this is interesting.
Oh, you're good. I should have mentioned it before. I just kind of wanted to know if I scribbled in there. So it was just interesting to me. And there's not, everything's still rumors, but they are saying he's not been practicing and he's healthy. I agree with you as far as the whole transfer portal thing. Guy, like you literally just got here.
Like, dude. What? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope, then Coach K.
Yeah, I know Josh Pate had an interview.
It's interesting, that you're just like, okay, I'm thinking about leaving. I just got here, and I transferred with this coach. But if you're not promised, you're out. So, and Washington that just coming back.
Yeah, that just looks like that's just evident of someone saying, "Oh man, there's guys here that are better than me. I'm not going to be the starter. I want to leave." I just don't understand that way of thinking. You and I weren't raised that way. We were always pretty competitive. But that's just how it is nowadays. And then obviously we have another transfer portal opening up.
I agree.
Whenever that opens up, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, basically. So I mean, it'll be interesting now to see how it goes. And I guess next week we'll talk a little bit more about the 8A game. And then I'm sure we'll have several different guests coming on after 8A game to kind of cover that. And then, like I said, I'll be out there visiting Raj up there. So, well, did you hear about this story that I clicked on right before I got here, that Bronny James is going to transfer?
Is that a late April Fool's joke?
No.
Where would he? I got to pull that up. I don't. As far as my point of view on that, he's not ready to go to the NBA. He's coming off that really, really interesting rookie freshman season at USC. If you're not starting on a bad USC team, where are you going to transfer to that's going to kind of fit your needs? Mm-hmm. Like, he has to have a really, really good showing in his sophomore year to kind of even get noticed in the NBA draft. Right now, he's writing off the James name. And keep in mind, I'm a huge LeBron fan. I want to see the best for his son, but he's not ready for the NBA. I just don't know where he's going to go and just get an immediate impact and just be the star guy. So I didn't.
This is a rumor, by the way. Yeah, well, because I just read it right before I got on, so it was kind of in my. Do I throw out notes or anything? Yeah. So, 46 minutes ago, somebody posted like he's not in the transfer portal as of right now, so it is still just rumors, but it's just one of those goofy things to throw out.
It is. I mean, like I said, because I know they got Isaiah Collier, and I don't know if Collier is going to enter the draft, but he was a starting guard, so taking Bronny's place. But Bronny just had a rough freshman year. He could bounce back next year, get some more playing time, but he's going to have to go somewhere and kind of change his game. Though he's not really aggressive when it comes to point guard. He's a good shooter, better shooter than his dad was at that age, but he lacks aggressiveness on the offensive side. Great defender. He's just got a lot of things to work on in the next few years.
So this year he took an L, but next year he'll bounce back.
Yes, yeah. So lame.
Oh man. So who's got the yes? And I think his coach did just leave too.
Oh, that's another thing because I think Arkansas, because Musselman is supposed to be interviewing at USC, so maybe that has something to do with it as well.
Okay.
He can always come to Alabama and we can sit by and see her. I don't know.
So, do you have the 3 questions of death, or do I?
I do.
Oh, I actually had some prepared. I didn't actually know who did, so I'm
ready.
ready.
Save those for next week.
Yes, sir.
All right. 3 questions. You ready to go?
You ready to go?
Number 1, obviously Bama was going to the Final Four this set. Okay, good. Going to the Final Four this Saturday to play UConn. Let's just say Nate Oates comes up to you, Herb, and says, "Hey, I want to get a whiskey made to kind of define how this team has played this year and how far we've gotten this year. I want Herb to make the whiskey. Herb, if you were to make this whiskey, what would you call this whiskey?"
Something kind of like a sweet and sour mash. Something like that. Something with it's either been really good or really bad with no in between. So it's like
sounds like a really bad ex-girlfriend or something you're talking about.
Something like that. Like I don't know.
What would the name of the
Rare
whiskey be?
Kind of Eagle Rare. I like that. Because we're high flying sometimes, and then sometimes it's just really bad. Sometimes we crash.
That was so lame.
Yes.
We're high flying sometimes.
Harsh with a good aftertaste. Well, you caught me off guard. I'm thinking about all my wishers.
That's the whole point of these questions.
I know, but I need something with a name that says like sometimes it's great. We're like Sour Patch Kids. That's what we are. The Sour Patch Kids.
You've heard it here first. The Sour Patch Whiskey.
Yes.
All right.
Star Trek boldly going where no Bama. See, there you go. There's a much better name. A much better name.
All right. Sour Patch Whiskey.
Sometimes they're sweet, sometimes they're sour, Raj. That's our team.
All right. Gotcha. So
if we could come out, Raj, this next game and hit 15 threes or hit like 2, and neither one of those would surprise you.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I do think that 15 is the target number. If we hit at least 15 threes, I think we win the game.
Agreed.
That's just my personal opinion. I hate it has to be that high, but I think that's my pick.
Yeah.
Usually we do work, play, live. I'm going to do a variation of work, play, live called work, play, live, ditch. I'm going to give you 4 names.
I'm ditching Raj.
Obviously, out of the 4 names, you tell me which one you work, play, live. The last person is ditch. This is somebody who calls your phone on a Friday night who wants to hang out, but you just don't want to have anything to do with them, so you're going to ditch them. All right.
I like this. New variation.
Work, play, ditch. Big Man Final Four edition.
Okay.
Grant Nelson.
All right.
Zach Edey.
All right.
DJ Burns. And the Klingon from UConn.
All right. I'm ditching Edey.
Okay.
Deuces. That's the easy
Why?
one.
Why Edey? Why?
He just seems the most boring out of the 4, and the more it's like just
hold on. Here's the call. Hey, ring, ring, ring. I'm Edey. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. You just answer anyway, just for the heck of it. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Herb, what's going on, man? Zach Edey, man, what's up, bro? What you got going on for the night, man? It's Friday night, bro. What's up?
Oh, dude, I'm like so sick. Oh man, it must have been something I ate, man. I just been.
Oh man, was it Chipotle or Chipotle or what was it?
Oh man, it's something like you remember that Purdue-based restaurant you told me to go to? It was terrible, man. Everything goes down.
Oh yeah, bro, yeah.
It's awful.
Okay, man. Well, You don't want to chug any beers tonight, bro?
All right, man. So I'll talk to you later. Good. Thanks for calling.
Hello. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
That was-
Who do you
yes.
work, play, and live with?
So I'm gonna work with the Klingon because I know the least
Okay.
about him.
Okay.
It's a tough choice with the last two, right?
Grant Nelson
you
and
could
DJ
go
Burns.
out.
Yep.
You could go out. Yeah, I'm gonna go out with DJ Bird because he looked like he has a good time.
Okay.
He just looks like a fun guy. I wanted to pick Grant Nelson because of the stash.
The
But I
stats,
think
yeah.
I'm just but he just looks like the kind of guy you either go out and have a great time with or go out and have a terrible time and there's no in between.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I'll just live next to him and he can give me grooming tips or something like that. So this is a lie.
Oh my gosh, Herbie.
Lie.
How can you ditch E? Come on.
Lies. Raj, there used
Last
to be a
question.
waiting list. There used to be a waiting list to go hang out with E.
Oh, I can imagine. He is
Yeah.
a super cool guy. So yeah. Last question, and this is
He only would hang out
um,
with me on the 31st of February.
Oh wow, popular day.
Yep.
Last question. Is
Yes,
Alabama officially a basketball school?
Never. Alabama can win the next 5 national championships in basketball and 1 SEC championship. And we will still be like, yes, SEC champions. Woohoo!
Can we not be both? Can we not be a basketball and football school?
Night Alpha. We about to sign off ourselves.
Right.
No, we'll still always whatever you put. So I listened to the Kentucky broadcast this year.
Yeah.
And what they said was wherever you put your most money into is the school that you still are. He's like, Kentucky is trying to be a football school, but their money goes to basketball, so that's what they are. So I don't know if you saw Randy Rogers' next thing is for us to shave the beards off in support of Grant Nelson. So the beard oil might have
It'll
to
grow back. I know mine will grow back, so I could just shave all.
Mine grows back so slowly though, so we'll see. So night alpha.
Gotcha.
But
Right,
we'll
night,
always
everybody.
be a football
We appreciate
school,
y'all.
so.
Yeah.
Good questions, Raj. Good questions. So like I said, no Wednesday show tomorrow in the morning, but we'll be back next week as far as everybody goes. Check Randy out tomorrow night. No, his show is on tomorrow night. So show me your budget off. Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, those Kentucky guys, they hit it. So I looked at I tried to go look at the Clemson podcast. They stopped podcasting when after football season was over.
After football,
so, yeah. So that tells you. Randy will be on tomorrow night. I know Air Raid Mike didn't see him tonight, but I know he's starting his stuff back up to get his shows
I saw that
and
on
get some
Twitter.
views. So, and I know we'll be joining him at some point too as well. So,
wait.
don't even know if we're gonna have a guest next week or not. We're still sorting that out. And then the week after will be Raj's birthday show.
Yes.
And then that weekend I will be out there. Oh, and I wanted to mention this real quick. The Stallions, they won their first game. They made the unfortunate decision to have their first home game the same day as the Alabama A-Day game. That was just
absolutely
terrible.
ridiculous. There's going to be like 100,000 people at A-Day game and like a handful at the Birmingham. Yeah. So that was
a terrible decision. But I know Big Mike and we're going to go to A-Day game, and I know we're going to get to a well, Randy, you got to send me your address, man. I got to send you something for your birthday.
Oh yeah.
So definitely,
Shout
you
out
got to
to
send me your
Randy.
address. You texted to me tonight. You're getting something for your birthday. But Mike and I think we're gonna wait till May. We're gonna go to a Birmingham Stallions game. So, Raj, another great show. Thank you, everybody out there. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to make our way to 100, so we appreciate it. We appreciate the views. Hope to get more of you guys commenting, but we love our commenters in there. Thank y'all. Thank you, everybody. Raj, even though you lost the debate,
it's all right.
There's another great show on your side.
Yeah.
Roll Tide, Cat.
Roll Tide, everybody. Have a good night.
And we will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Roll Tide. See you Saturday night. We'll probably be with JB and JT on their stream again. So download the app. Join us there. And I guess maybe keep your clothes on. Have a good night, everybody. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.